we're off to a good start. It's your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso. All right, John, S3. It's a fantastic Thursday morning. It's all about those throwbacks, and nostalgia it is a welcome feeling this morning as we take a trip down memory lane with Grant Hines this morning as he runs us through some of the most memorable tech that shaped us as a society, as human beings. How's it?
Oh yeah, like tech. Like I always find like tech to be the thing that like hallmarks a period. You know, good movies come out when they do like a period piece, like early 2000s, and they're all using the right technology.
You know what
which
I'm
is really
saying.
cool. I watched a movie recently called Past Lives, great film. And that was one of the things that I really enjoyed about it, that you show them as when they're kids and when they're adults, but it's all set at a time when the internet really wasn't around, but they're like using like, you know, like old MacBooks. The internet was around, but old MacBooks and stuff. It was very cool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been so many iconic tech gadgets that just made such a splash back in the day that we thought, oh my goodness, this is the thing right now. And you're going to run us through some of those because it's going to trigger, I think, a lot of emotions for some of our viewers. And we want to start off with a phone.
Yes, I think
We got and this phone is still alive today because there's constant references made to it still.
I mean, there is no more iconic phone from the past than the Nokia 3310.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
so this phone was indestructible. If
Fully.
there was a nuclear war, cockroaches and this phone would probably survive. And everybody either had one. I had a hand-me-down, a nice Lumo hand-me-down, and yeah, it worked. It worked through anything. Had replaceable batteries. You could play Snake on it.
Yes, that was the thing. And can we just talk about the battery life?
Oh yes, you are completely forgotten. That thing would last like 2 weeks. Chilled.
Yeah, just
chilled battery life for 2 weeks.
No, don't worry about charging it. Next week is fine. But I mean, this was definitely, I think, one of those.
Snake, look at that, man.
Oh man, on that, what we thought was a big screen.
Yo, now we interact. We've got to do VR games on this episode today on Expresso. That's where it all started for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Was playing Snake. So
and I mean,
was
you didn't
cool.
feel instantly bad when you drop it either.
No, yeah, because you know the plastic would chip a little bit, but like
you know, you could get a cover. You could get a replaceable cover.
Oh yes, you could.
In a funky color.
Yeah, I had a nice like luminous what's it like teal.
Yes,
that was the one I had.
So that's one of the gadgets. Let's talk about the next one.
Okay. So look, there were a few. I was thinking of games consoles that were retro, but the Sega Mega Drive 2 specifically, I think a lot of South Africans had this one because it was a little bit cheaper than the first Mega Drive, and I mean this was my experience.
Yeah.
So it was like a smaller, like nicer looking console in my opinion, but like you know somebody who had this and you went to their house if you didn't have it and you played Sonic the Hedgehog and the whole bunch of like 16-bit. Okay, look at that game controller with the blue button in the middle, and it brings back so many exciting memories for me. When I was like looking through this, I was like, I have to include this because it just really felt like home. So I think for South Africans specifically, not the original Mega Drive, but this one, the Mega Drive 2, was the one that a lot of households had, and or your friends had, and you'd be like, oh yes, back in high school.
Look, I was never blessed as a kid with one of those, but I had the Nintendo one. You know,
the games, the family console.
Yes. But what I do remember from these consoles is the sound of clicking in the cartridge. That click. It was a very iconic sound to me that I still remember. And then obviously those cartridges take up a lot of space in your cupboard because you have all these different games.
Yeah,
you have one game. And if you're lucky, you got one of these combination cartridges with all the games on it.
Oh yeah, like 101.
Then you special. Then all the friends want to come play at your house.
Or it disappears. In my case, like I'd be like, where's that game? I lent it to somebody and like, you know.
Oh God. The Tamagotchi.
Oh yeah, Tamagotchi. Like it's actually made a comeback, but I think a lot of people. Here's one of the original Tamagotchis.
Yes.
And what I liked about it was like my brother had one, and like everybody in school had it.
Yes.
So like that was the weird thing. Everybody was looking after their like little animals they had, and you wanted to see what animal it would become, right? It would be like an egg, and it would grow. Up
until the point where the teacher was in the class. Listen, just leave them somewhere outside. Don't pack them away. Don't bring them into the classroom because it was a craze.
And like, I think we had one each, my brother and I, but I remember like the rich kids in school would have more than one. Like, imagine wanting to do more admin work.
Yeah.
Like, it's like adopting 5 dogs because you're like looking after all of these Tamagotchis.
Well, it all taught us a sense of responsibility, I suppose, back in the day as kids, you know.
I mean, in a way.
Listen, just very quickly, I know we need to wrap very quickly, but we got to talk about the iPod, dude.
Yes.
This was one of the biggest things to come out, and it was incredible. It was first the old school one, the black and white screen, and then I was blown away when they brought out the color screen, where you could watch videos on it as well. But that was a little bit later, but the original one like this made such a splash.
Oh yeah, I mean, this has changed the way we listen to music.
For sure.
So I think that's one of the reasons. And also, a lot of people swear by this unit. They have it at home. They actually have it installed in their cars. But it's very hard to come by, and it's very expensive to get, even though there are more advanced ones. I had an iPod Shuffle. That was my first one that I ever had, just because, you know, it didn't have the screen, but you could go like running with it or go to gym with it. And then I also had the iPod Shuffle became like a big...
Yes.
What's an iPod Shuffle, man? What was it? iPod Nano.
The Nano, yes.
Yes, and that was the one that like eventually became, or had a black one, and was like the one with the color screen, and I couldn't play games, but I could store, I think it was 16 gigs.
Yeah, now we laugh. Now we laugh.
It was so expensive for 16 gigs. Wow. But like it was, I remember it changed the way I listened to music. I was like skateboarding with
absolutely.
it. It actually was really, really cool.
Yeah, no, I remember. I mean, I secured myself one during my travels as a youngster, and you know, it was still the sling bag and the wire running out. You know what I'm saying, you know? So it was epic time. So let us know if there are any tech gadgets that you think like really made a splash for you. Do you still have an iPod? Do you still use it as well? We'd love to know from you, Grant. Thank you very much. He's not going anywhere because we are talking VR in just a little bit. We're taking a step into the future. This time a little bit. Stick around. Right now, let's get into round 2 of our aerobics workout.